Hi, my name is Matthew Bless, and the topic I have chosen to research for this course is the proposed dismantling of the United States Department of Education. This issue has gained a lot of national attention recently, especially after President Donald Trump signed an executive order in March of this year directing for the closure of the U.S. Department of Education. This is part of a broader effort from mainly the Republican Party to return the control over public education to the states and to the local communities that are near the school or where the schools are in. And at first glance, it might sound appealing to return that control to the communities because who knows the community's needs better than the people in that community or the educators in that community. But the more that I began to research the topic using the two scholarly sources that we had to look up for Module 2 and also the two anecdotal sources, I just kind of realized how much is at stake if the Department of Education were to be eliminated. The two scholarly articles I picked were peer reviewed. Oh, they were peer reviewed, sorry. One of them was The Administrative Presidency and PK through 12 Education Policy by Flanagan and Wong. And it kind of helped me understand the federal oversight that protects student civil rights and ensures consistent access of funding for those low income and special needs students. And the other article by Solojan and Jules, published in the Comparative Education Review, warned that this shift away from federal leadership could isolate the U.S. education system globally from global collaboration and accountability. So it could put us farther behind other countries. And I know that a big thing in the past has been kind of like this educational race with China. And a move like this could just cause inconsistency across the nation and put us farther behind in that global education race. I also read a couple of news sources, one from the Associated Press and one from the National Education Association, and they also confirmed the public concern about what would happen with the funding for these already disadvantaged populations of students if it was shifted from federal to local control, and just questions and concerns about how equitable or equal the funding would be after that if there wasn't federal regulations in place to make sure that it was equitably distributed to these different groups. So after analyzing these sources, my position has kind of shifted because at first I didn't think that it would be that big of a deal because the communities know the community itself the best, so why not give them more control over it? But after reading through and understanding how these different underserved populations or groups of students rely on that federal protection and funding, I've kind of learned that it's best to maybe balance state flexibility with national standards to help ensure that every student, no matter what zip code or where they live, they get an access to a quality education that's fair and just all throughout the nation, and also help keep our students on par with the global standard and to make sure that we are not falling behind in the global sense of education, just kind of falling behind the rest of the world. So I definitely have a lot more research to do, and I'm very excited to dive into this topic, especially one that's such a hot topic in the news right now, and something that hasn't happened in the past but is kind of unfolding before our eyes right now. So I think it's really a cool topic to kind of be able to dig into and find out what's going to happen. So I do look forward to researching this more over the course of the semester, and also just as it's going on, if this stretches beyond the course, so just being able to keep up with this in my daily life. So thank you for listening, and I hope that you found this video kind of informational about what's going on, and so hopefully I'll have some more information in the future after doing a lot more research as things start to unfold.